Hello and welcome into Antigonish, Nova Scotia, inside the wonderful Antigonish Arena for this presentation of the Nova Scotia U15 Major Hockey League, presented by High Abundance Sports. My name is Ryan McDonald, and on behalf of all of High Abundance Sports, I'd like to thank you for choosing to spend your Sunday morning with us, choosing to watch this over Team Canada and France, as the hometown Novas take on the visiting Harbour Rage, a rematch of just 2 weeks ago as the Rage traveled to Antigonish. Novas took that one 7-1. Rage looking for a different outcome today. Novas looking for another 4-point weekend as they barely edged out the Wildcats yesterday in a close one, 3-2 the final. As the season's winding down, points ever more important. We'll step away. We'll be right back with O Canada in the starting lineups. Anthem played. We're ready for some hockey in nets for the Novas. It's number one. It's Dylan Mumbercat. Hartland get another start here for the Rage. He was in nets the last time these two teams met. Both teams making a lot of noise. We're ready for puck drop. One back by Austin. Nova start with the puck. Moved up to Sampson. Sampson with the game-winning goal last night. He dumps it down into the corner. Kaiser picks it up. Centered to Sampson. Sampson had a good opportunity to backdoor pass. Just past the reach of McIsaac. He'll pick it up in the corner. Moves it down to Austin. Austin coming in front of the net. Shot saved by Hartland. Sampson's rebound. That shot just went high. McMullen gets the puck at the point. He fires one down low. Sampson's going to pick it up alongside the far boards. Moves it back to Alex McDonald. McDonald down to Sampson. Sampson still with it. He backhands it behind the net. McMullen will chip it, but it gets knocked right back, and that's going to get knocked out of the zone. Austin giving chase. He has to go all the way back down into his own zone. He'll pick up the puck. Start going the other way. Pass just out of the reach of everybody. That's going to go down for an icing. So a couple good opportunities there for the Novas in the first minute of the game. As both teams will get some fresh legs here out on the ice. Puck drop, won by the Rage. Moving it back. Lincoln McDonald was there, and that's chipped up and out. Carroll's going to have to retreat. He knocks it just out of McDonald's range, as that's chipped up and out of the Rage zone. Crawford will pick it up. Pass to Lincoln McDonald. He moves it back to Romard. Romard down low to McDonald. Just out of his reach. He's going to go all the way around. Lewis in a foot race for it. He can't poke it out of the reach of Frazier. Frazier to McDonald down low. Centering pass. Shot. Great save there by Hartland. Point blank. Crawford was all alone in front of the net. That's down to Lincoln McDonald behind the net. Lincoln pass out front. That shot just hit something. Didn't have enough speed. Carroll's going to pick it up, and he's going to go out on the ice. Carroll with some speed. He's forced out wide. Centering pass just in the feet there. Frazier. Noah's looking to break it out. Arsenault keeps the puck in. And then Carroll dumps it down deep. Big hit there in the corner. Dando keeps the puck in. He just fires it into the corner. Chipped up the boards. Baldwin in a battle with Romard. Carroll just knocks it right back in. Frazier picks up the puck. Moved up to Crawford. Romard can't handle that pass as Dando picks up the puck. Rage going the other way. Dando working in, makes a move. Frazier separates him from the puck. Centering pass is knocked away. Puck comes out in front of the net, but it's taken safely by the Novas. Dykers with some speed. Dykers shot, scores! And the Novas strike first. Just under 3 minutes in. Picked up the puck in his own end, went end to end, buried it. And it's 1-0. As we're back underway, the Rage win that face-off. That pass back to Trudel is tipped around. As Dykers has the puck again. He centers a Peoples shot. That's saved and held onto by Hartland. So Avery Dykers getting his first of the morning. New line out here for the Novas. McDonnell going to take the face-off. Won by the Rage. That outlet pass to Simon just out of his reach. There's a foot race, him and McMullen. McMullen just barely wins that one. Reverses, makes a man fall. Harder pass to Purcell. Purcell up to McDonnell. Peoples digging at the puck alongside the boards. Comes out. Purcell will have the puck. Purcell spins around. He tries to get it out. It's knocked down. Work again. Shot. Big save by Mumbercat. As the rebound was just sent into the corner there. Peoples will pick up the puck. Peoples working in. He loses the puck. It'll be picked up by Duggan. Duggan working behind the net. Shielding the puck. Spins around. His centering pass knocked back into the corner. He'll try to chip it past Simon. Gets knocked down. Peoples will pick up the puck. Makes a move. Shot. Big pad save. It's a rebound shot. And that's caught by Hartland and held on to. Very fast-paced first period thus far as we're just about 4 minutes into it. Top line back on for the Novas. Puck dropped, one back. Carroll's going to have the puck. He just fires around for Lewis. Lewis couldn't handle it. Baldwin tries to get it out. Knocked back to Lewis. Lewis scored his first goal of the season. last time these two met. So Lewis has the puck. He's working up. He's just going to chip it in, chase after his own chip. That'll be blown dead. It looks like an offside, and it is. So the puck's going to come just outside the Nova zone. McPhee, Austin for the draw. McPhee wins it. Carroll dumps it into the far corner. McDonald will be there, picks up the puck. Sampson with it at the half wall. Sampson just moves it down low. Picked up by the Rage, centering pass. Intercepted. Carroll's able to knock that one back into the zone though. McIsaac chips it up. Lewis caught it at the blue line. Kept it in. It eventually gets out. McPhee's going to pick up the puck. Moves it over to Carroll. Carroll makes a move. Gets past Sampson. Moves it up for McPhee. McPhee, shot. Blocked or saved by Mummercat. Rebound, Carroll. Sent that wide. That was a great opportunity there. McPhee tries to get back to the point. And McIsaac chipped it out. Carroll's picking up the puck by the center line. He splits a couple defenders there. Puts on the break, shot. Blocker save, easy there by Mummercat. Dando, backhand. Hits Sampson in the shin pad. Sampson chips it up for McIsaac. Good play there by Carroll. Moving in, Baldwin, shot. And that's easily held onto by Mummercat for a stoppage in play. So that was a pretty good shift there for a couple Rage players. It seemed like McPhee and Carroll were everywhere there for the last minute or so. Baldwin lines up against Romard for the draw. One backwards by Romard. Battle for it in the corner. There's a couple bodies in the ground there. They'll come out. Noah's have the puck. Outlet pass just out of the reach of everybody. That's going to be an icing. 9:30 to go in the first period. 1-0 is where we stand. Thanks to a goal by Avery Dykers, unassisted. So we'll do this face-off again just on the other side to the right of Mummercat. Puck drop, one back by the Rage. Donaldson's going to have it at the point. His shot hit Lincoln McDonald's stick into the corner. Noah's looking to get it out. Battle for it. Dando knocks it back in. Baldwin has it. Baldwin couldn't hold the line as Arsenault just chips it in. It'll be chipped back out of the reach of Crawford. Going to go all the way down. That's another icing against the Novas. So we'll go back down to the Nova zone to do this face-off the third time in just 30 seconds. New line out for the Rage. Tired unit out on for the Novas. Rage win it. Simon has it alongside the boards. Battle for it. Wins the battle. Out to White. White tries to work it down low. Spinning around. Big hit there, and that's going to be a penalty. As that was a huge collision. And it's going to be a boarding call. Rightfully so, as that looks like it's Frazier going to the box for 2 minutes. And that'll bring up our first DeCoast Electrical and Ventilation penalty kill of the game. Keeping things running smoothly, just like the Novas on the penalty kill. So, big opportunity here for the Rage. First power play of the game, trying to get back even. Novas win the draw. And that's dumped all the way back down, and that'll go all the way down to Hartland. Hartland leaves it beside his net. Lewis is going to pick it up. Waiting for anything to develop. He's going to take it out. Fires it to Carroll alongside the boards. Carroll working in. Pumps the brakes. He tries to work it back. Hits a stick. Austin picks up the puck behind the net. Battling for it. He leaves it back behind for McMullen. McMullen's going to take it. And he's going to fire it all the way down. And Hartland's going to stop it there. Leave it for Lewis. Lewis working up the ice. Works it over to White. White forced wide by McDonald. Behind the net. McDonald takes the puck. And then he's going to fire it all the way down. Minute 10 remaining on this power play. Hartland leaves it behind for Lewis, but McIsaac's there. Put it on a good forecheck. Lewis leaves it for Carroll, who leaves it back for Lewis. Back over to Carroll. Carroll tried to move it up. That puck's knocked down. It'll be picked up by Lewis, though. Lewis is able to get it in. The Rage have not been able to set up on the power play, and they won't be able to there, as that's dumped all the way back down, and Dando will have to pick it up. Dando with some speed. His shot blocked. Donaldson fighting for it in the corner. Dando will pick it back up. He loses the puck. That's going to be dumped all the way out. Hartland's going to pick it up. 20 seconds remaining on the power play. He leaves it behind. Working up are the Rage. That pass batted down by Peoples, but Dando's going to be able to pick it up. Dando crosses the line, just fires it down low. Baldwin giving chase. McMullen finds it. He's going to fire it down, and that's going to kill the penalty as Hartland goes and plays it. And he gives it right to Peoples. Peoples working in. Peoples shot, and Hartland bails himself out there as we're back to even strength. Duggan has it in the corner. Working out. Nice move there. Works it back to the point. McDonald works it down low to McDonnell. McDonnell pinned up against the boards. He's taken down. Duggan's going to pick up the puck. Duggan's going to throw it back to the point. McDonald tries to make a move. He throws it right into the feet of Duggan. It comes out. That's chipped out. Dando. McMullen. Foot race. McMullen wins that one as he can fly. That pass is set up and Baldwin intercepts and just dumps it in. Lumbercat out behind his net. He leaves it there for McDonald. McDonald moves it right up the boards to McDonnell. McDonnell's outlet pass hit Carroll in the skates, but Duggan's still able to pick it up. Duggan forced into the corner. He's taken down. Lewis battling with him. McPhee and Peoples in there as well. Peoples comes out with the puck. That's going to be blown dead for a hand pass in the offensive zone. So we'll get another stoppage in play with 5:49 remaining. That puck comes just outside the Rage zone. Puck's dropped, one back by the Rage. Carroll moves it out of the zone. Battle for alongside the half-boards. That comes out. Novas have it. Working in. Crawford, his move knocked away. Puck's bouncing around by the blue line. Lewis has it. Lewis just dumps it in. Lumbercat behind his hat to play it. McDonald reverses. Rain McDonald moves it up Crawford. Lewis keeps that puck in. Dumps it in deep. Frazier has it behind his own net. Frazier with it. As he just chips it up into the Rage zone. Crawford's hit into the boards by Lewis. Crawford and Romard battling Lewis. McPhee comes out with the puck. He moves it up. That pass is right behind Bergeron. And Crawford's going to pick it up. McPhee tries to get it over to Carroll. He can't. Lewis is able to bat the puck out and knock it out of the zone as Arsenault chips it up and into the zone for no icing. Purcell's going to pick it up. Purcell to McMullen. Back to Purcell. As he fires it up, it hits a stick and goes all the way down. McIsaac's going to pick up the puck in the corner. McIsaac, stick handling with it, leaves it at the point. McMullen, the captain, shot. Saved by Hartland and held on to. 4:22 remaining here in the first period. Another draw, this time won by the Rage. They're trying to get it out. Puck's bounce it up. Finally gets out. Arsenault picks it up. It's poked away from him around center ice. Comes back to the point. Finally dumped right back in. McMullen has it in his own zone. Pressured by Price. McMullen moves it to Sampson. Sampson working in. Crosses the blue line. He tries to go back door. McIsaac just out of his reach. McIsaac on the puck. He gets knocked off of it. Rage coming the other way. Rage shot. Mumbercat glove save. And we'll get an offensive zone draw for the Rage. Puck drop, one sideways by the Rage, but the Nobs pick up the puck. Backwards pass, gets all the way around. It's going to be picked up, chipped out of the zone. No one there, so Dano's going to move it up to Simon. Simon's pass, just out of the reach. It's going to be picked up in the corner by Gillis. Gillis sends it out in front. Simon shot, what a save by Mumbercat. As Gillis just threw that puck in front of his own net, and Simon almost made him pay. Mumbercat slammed the door shut though. Keeping this a 1-goal game. And his team on top. Puck drop, one back by the Rage. Dando shot from the point, caught and held easily by Mumbercat. So we're going to do that face-off all over again. As Arsenault's up on the Rage bench making some noise as that puck's dropped. One backwards shot by White. So that's just set aside. Romar's going to have the puck behind the net. He moves it to McDonald. McDonald up to Lincoln McDonald. He moves it up for Crawford. Crawford with some speed. Puck's knocked off his stick. White has it in center. His pass. He fanned on that. Picked up by Lincoln McDonald. He passes it back to McDonald. All three McDonalds on the ice for the Novas as that puck's dumped down, no icing. Crawford's going to pick it up behind the Rage net. Crawford's fans on the pass as there's a battle for it behind it in the corner. Lincoln McDonald knocks down the puck. He passes it back to Fraser at the point. Fraser back to McDonald. McDonald working in. His shot. Saved through traffic. Comes back out. Fraser shot. Scores. Romard gets credit for that one as Fraser's shot hit a couple sticks, went back door, and Romard was able to tap it into the empty net, making it 2-0. No Romard. And if I was a guess, I'd say Fraser and Crawford getting the assist there. Fraser for sure, as Fraser has the puck at the moment on his own net. He fires it across. McPhee battling for it. It's alongside the boards. Carroll trying to knock that in. Peoples backhands it out. Carroll holds the line. Second attempt does get out. Lewis has the puck. McDonald knocks it to Duggan. Duggan working in. Knocked away by Carroll. Duggan picking it up. Duggan has the puck. He moves it back. Purcell shot. That's blockered by Hartland into the corner. Peoples battling with a couple of Rage players there. That shot's deflected wide. Carroll picks up the puck. It's knocked off his stick by Peoples. Lewis will pick it back up. Lewis chips it up for McLaughlin. He kind of kicked that back to Lewis as it does get out. Peoples is going to have it in the center. He moves it back for Purcell. Purcell off the boards. It's chipped back up. Rage in a weird change. Price is going to pick up the puck. It's knocked back. Lewis has it. Lewis up to Baldwin. Baldwin can only backhand it up into the zone. Purcell's going to be the first one back there. He's hit hard into the boards by Price. Novas trying to get it out. Arsenal has the puck in the corner. He moves it back. Trudel at the point. Trudel just trying to get it back to Price. He hits it with a little too much force. Goes all the way around. Fraser has it in the other corner. Fraser reverses, goes back behind his net. He chips it up the boards. It'll be picked up by Sampson. Sampson with some speed. 1 minute remaining in the period. Into the corner. Sampson leaves it for Austin. Austin doesn't pick that up. Purcell's going to knock it back in. Trudel's going to have it. Trudel behind his own net. Moves it up. Back up. And that's just out of the reach of Brandert. Brandt. His pass intercepted in the neutral zone. Staying onside is McDonald. He just chips it in. Baldwin has it. Behind the net, Baldwin. Moving with it. Makes a couple nice moves. Baldwin still has it. Brandt. That's chipped in. That's going to be held on to Mummercat. He lets it go. Delayed offside. A very long delayed offside there. As Sampson has it. Sampson making a couple moves. Knocked off his stick. And that is how the period is going to end. We've played 15. 2-0 Novas. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the second period. Puck drop as the second period's underway. That's moved up to Simon. Rage looking to get one back here early. Get back within one as McMullen fires it over. Dykers in the corner. Dykers moves it up. Peoples knocks it down. Gillis gets the puck knocked away from him as McMullen just knocks it into the zone for an icing. We're going to go back down to the Nova zone. As puck's finally dropped there. Puck's knocked up the half wall, picked up by Peoples. Peoples gonna go with a little skate. Couple whacks at him. He tries to get past Carroll. Carroll shuts that down. He's gonna pick up the puck in his own zone. He tries to chip it up the boards of Simon. It's knocked away. Battle for it in the corner there. Lots of players digging for it. It comes out. Simon moves it over to Dando. Dando shot, hits some shin pads into the corner. Simon knocks the puck away at the wall. Simon still battling for it. Big hit there alongside the boards. So McLaughlin knocks that puck in deep. Simon, short side, his shot, shin pads again. Still a big battle along deep. Great offensive shift so far for the Rage as Trudel's going to knock that one back in deep. McMullen's going to get it in the corner. He loses alongside the boards. McLaughlin had that puck taken away from him by Romard. Lincoln McDonald has the puck alongside the half boards. He moves it back. McLaughlin fires it back over. Moves it up just out of the reach of McPhee. So Romard trying to get a second of the game. He's moving in. Romard shot. He had Crawford backdoor there, and his shot was saved. As Lewis is going to pick up the puck. Lewis trying to chip it up for the teammate there as that's knocked away. Peoples pass up for Crawford. Knocked off his stick. Lincoln McDonald will pick it up in the corner. Battle with Trudel. Now McPhee. Lincoln McDonald loses the puck. It's going to be thrown out of the zone past McDonald. Chasing after it is White. McDonald wins the puck, the foot race. White's battle with him behind the corner. Frazier comes out with it. Frazier 1 point on the night, or morning, rather. As Brabant knocks it back in. Crawford moves over for McDonald. That's kept in. White's just going to throw it in as Carroll stood up McDonald at the point. Carroll keeps that puck in a couple times. Somehow that puck stayed in. McDonald will have it in his own zone, moves it over to McDonald, up for Crawford. Crawford loses the puck, and he's finally able to get it out. That puck's moved over for Donaldson. Chips in front of the net. It's great opportunity there, but that puck's taken away by Austin. Austin with the puck. Chips it up for Crawford. Crawford dumps it in. That's off Brabant's hand. He's going to chip it behind the net for Carroll. Carroll with it. Chips it up and out, but Sampson's going to pick it up around the neutral zone. Working back in his own zone. Picking up some speed. Asher Sampson working in. Forced wide into the corner. Still has it behind the net. Carroll eventually knocks it off his stick. Back to the point. Purcell throws it around. Brabant's going to pick it up in the corner. He gets hit. Price is going to pick it up. Tries to get it out. McMullen knocks it right back in. McIsaac with it. McIsaac going for a skate. Shot blocked by Carroll there in the slot. That puck makes its way to Hartland, and he jumps on and covers it for a whistle. Some good pressure there by the Novas, trying to get another one across. Draw one by the Raids. That's chipped up and out. McMullen has the puck. McMullen moves it down, and there's a big hit. That puck goes all the way back down to the zone. McMullen throws it up. McDonnell loses the puck. Purcell's going to knock the puck down. Purcell. Back to McMullen. McMullen. McDonnell. Crossing the center line and just firing it in. Hartland going to sweep that on his own net. Lewis laying the body. Price with it. Back to Lewis. Baldwin throws it on his own net. Dando can't be there. Arsenault fighting for it. McDonnell picking it up. He's forced off the puck. Romar's going to pick it up. Battling around. Peoples. Peoples with a backhand. That goes wide. Peoples with his own miss. Still with the puck. He gets hit into the boards by Baldwin. Dando fishing for the puck. He can't get it out. It does come out. There's going to be a penalty. It looks like it's going to be against the Rage. It will be for a slash against Dando. Bringing up our first Widmar power play of the game. Widmar Restorations restoring momentum just like the Novas on the power play. So first man advantage here for the Novas this morning, or should I say this afternoon at this point. Coming just 5 minutes into the second period. Back, McDonald moves it over to McMullen. Down to Romard. Over to Crawford. Crawford back to Romard. Back to the point. McMullen. McMullen. Romard. Romard tries to work it down for Lincoln McDonald. Eventually gets there. Back to Romard. Romard back to McMullen. McMullen shot. Tip. That just goes high. Crawford. Back to McDonald at the point. Reen McDonald to McMullen. McMullen backhands it. Stick handling at the blue line. That comes out. He has to retreat, and the Novas have to get set back up as they just dump it in. Brabant going back for it. Battle for it. Has it down low. Works it back. It's McDonald over to McMullen at the point. Back down. Romard. Romard loses it, but McMullen's there to pick it up. McMullen's shot hit Crawford and went well wide. Picked up and thrown back to McDonald at the point. McMullen has it. McMullen shot. That goes wide. McDonald's picking it up. McDonald. Back to McDonald. To McMullen. Crawford. McMullen. McMullen fakes the shot. Moves over McDonald. McDonald shot. Big save by Hartland. Rebound all the way back to the point. He moves it over to the Romard. Shot. Glove save. Rebound. Cleared back to the point. McMullen has it. There's 32 seconds left on this power play. Romard. Romard moving in towards the slot. Stick handling. Shielding that puck. Backhand shoot, scores. He passed it over. And it looks like it's going to be Crawford getting the goal. It is. And it's 3-0. But Romard, what an effort. just practically walk through the penalty kill. And that goal is brought to you by the Winmar power play. The puck's dropped. Fraser chips it up. Past Carroll. Carroll has to retreat. Lewis has it. Lewis battling for it with Peoples. Up to White. Fraser chips it in. Lewis will pick it up. Lewis back to Carroll. Carroll chips it up for White. White gets it out of the zone. Actually, they say it doesn't, but White's going to pick up the puck again. He's crashing the zone. Purcell's going to pick up the puck in the corner. It's battle for in the corner. There's about 5 people there. It's picked up by the Novas, going the other way. Peoples gets to the Gillis. That's blown offside. Puck's dropped, won by the Novas. That's just chipped in. Lewis picks it up. He moves it over to Carroll. Carroll up for Simon. Simon with a head of speed. He's coming in. He's forced wide. His shot waffle boarded by Mumbercat up and over the net. It's moved up to McIsaac. McIsaac up for Sampson. He can't handle it. Sampson gets pushed behind the net by Carroll. Lewis knocks the puck off his stick. McIsaac will pick it up behind the net. McIsaac looking for somebody. He works it back to the point. Back over to McDonald. McDonald just chips it down deep. It'll be picked up by Lewis. Lewis spins back around. Looking for somebody. He backhands it behind the net for Carroll. The captain moving it out. He makes McIsaac miss. Carroll with some speed. Crossing center. Crossing the blue line. Shot. Just patted away there by Mumbercat. It's knocked away. Kept chipping it up. McDonald trying to move it up. McIsaac back to McDonald. Donaldson putting a lot of pressure on. Rabank trying to keep it in. Can't hold the line. Baldwin's going to pick it up. Moves it back over to Carroll, who wasn't able to get a change. Donaldson going to fire it in. And the Raiders are going to get some fresh legs on. Alex McDonald moves it for Sampson. Moves it up for McIsaac. McIsaac moves it over for Sampson. Sampson gets the puck knocked off his stick, but shoots by Peoples. That's saved by Hartland. Peoples picks up the rebound. He's working towards. Back to Fraser at the point. Shot, tip. That just went wide. Shot again. That's saved. Trudel's going to pick it up. Trudel's knocked off his stick. Picked up in the corner. Rage coming up with it. Brabant try to work it to Arsenault. That's knocked off everybody's stick. It's going to come back. Trudel's going to pick it up. He works over for Price. That's just behind him. He has to retreat for that. He moves it over to Arsenault. Arsenault moving it up. He can just chip it in. Romard's going to pick it up. Romard throws it over. Chipped up the boards. Thrown right back in, though, out of the range of Price. It's moving down. Fraser off the wall, chipped out by McDonnell, and then immediately chipped right back into the zone. Fraser picking up the puck in his own corner. Puck's being moved up. Crawford chips it up. Knocked off the stick of McDonnell. Pass up out of the reach of Romard. Romard giving chase. Lewis knocks that off his stick. Lewis will pick up the puck. Retreating behind his own net. Reverses. And then backhand pass to Dando. Dando chipping it up for Price out of everybody's range. And that'll go all the way down to the Nova zone. Picked up by Purcell. Up for Romard. Moves it over to Lincoln McDonald. Lincoln McDonald has the puck. Retreating back behind his own net. Trying to get some speed. He's taken down. And that's going to be a penalty against the Rage. There'll be a tripping call bringing up another power play. Nova's 0 for 3 yesterday, 1 for 1 thus far. Bringing up another Winmar power play. Puck drop, one back by the Rage. Lewis has it. Lewis is able to get that puck all the way down.
Harbour Rage penalty to number 13, Landon
Chevry getting the penalty as the Novas try to get something going. Pass up. Sampson not able to knock it past Carroll. Carroll knocks it back towards the Novas blue line. Fraser moves it back for McDonald. Moves it over to Fraser once again. He works in and just dumps it all the way down. Harlan's going to play it behind the net. Carroll off the wall. Sampson, keeps it in. Sampson working in. Back to Peoples. Peoples can't handle that pass. He works it back to Alex McDonald at the point. Over to Fraser. Fraser back to McDonald. McDonald over to Sampson. Sampson working in. Carroll stepped up just past him and wide. I think that got a piece of his shin pad or something and went wide as the puck's out to the neutral zone. As there's going to be a penalty against the Novas as they touch that up. So we're back to the 4-on-4. I think it's going to be a high stick. It's going to be a head contact call against Peoples. So we're going to be even for 55 seconds and then the Rage are going to have a power play for 1:05. But right now, a lot of room to skate for both teams as pucks drop. One by the Rage. Trudel has it at the point. McMullen challenging, centering pass. That's blocked down by Peoples. Sorry, Romard. Second shot didn't work. Brabant throws it over. White has it. White try to move it up for Simon. That was well of his reach. McDonald moves it over for McMullen. McMullen just gets into the other half and chips it in. It'll be picked up by Crawford. Crawford, great play there. Breaking that up. Simon pressuring in the corner. Can't get there. Comes back to the point. McMullen working in. McMullen shot. That went wide. That was on net. That was a goal as Harlan couldn't see anything there. Battling for the puck. McDonald tries to get it back to McMullen at the point. And it's now power plays. Chevry is going to pick up another penalty as soon as he got out of the box. So he's going to go back out as McIsaac has the puck. McIsaac working up. McIsaac crashing the net. Shot as he makes contact with Hartland and Stando's pushing and shoving behind the net. Trudel comes in and breaks that up. So it'll be interesting to see if there's multiple calls here. If there's one call, there's going to be a tripping call and then an interference call. So I believe they said it's going to be a 5-on-4. No matter what it is, it will be a DeCoste Electrical and Ventilation penalty kill for the Novas as they're trying to figure out what's happening, how many people are being sent in. So Chevry, as soon as he got out of the box, he got a tripping call, so he's back in. McIsaac is in. I believe it's goaltender interference. It looks like we're going to play 5-on-4 here. Puck dropped. One back. McMullen throws it all the way back. McDonald's going to pick it up. He's going to fire it down. As that was the rare offensive zone draw and the penalty kill. The start of penalty kill there for the Novas. As that'll be moved up for Carroll. Carroll can't handle it, but he knocks it back to Lewis. Lewis will have it. Reverses. Lewis working up, and he just dumps it in. Mummercat misplayed it there, so the Novas are able to get that out. That's chipped all the way down. So it looks like Peoples is on. We're back to 5-on-5. So those coincidental penalties won't do anything. As that puck's chip being batted around. Picked up by McDonnell. He's going to go the other way. He works it off. Sampson chips it. Duggan can't get a good stick on that, but he'll pick it up in the corner. Working with it on the wall. Duggan moves it over. Purcell shot. That's sticked away there by Hartland. McDonnell. This Baldwin lost his stick there as he tried to lay a hit. That pass up to Dando. Dando through the feet. Donaldson will pick it up. Donaldson lays on the brakes. Donaldson losing the puck. His shot went well wide into the corner. McDonnell picking that up. Up for Sampson, and boy can he fly. He gets past the D. His shot saved with the head there by Hartland. I'm not sure that's what the coaches mean when they say watch the puck all the way in. Is that puck for Price, is out of his way, but he's only able to just knock it in. It's chipped off, battle for it. Trudel knocks it in. Price out of his reach. Sampson's picking up. He has a lot of room to skate. He passes up for Crawford. Crawford looking for Sampson. That pass just out of his reach. Picked up by Carroll. Carroll going with it. He can move. Carroll's brought down. No call. Pass over McDonald. McDonald up to Crawford. Crawford tries to chip the puck up. Brabart will pass it up. That puck gets over to Romard. Romard gets the puck off, knocked his stick by Arsenault. McDonald's going to pick it up behind him, though. He throws over to Lincoln McDonald. Throws up for Crawford. Crawford with a little bit of speed, breaking into the zone. Tries to pass it, and Romard just tipped it wide. As there's a couple battles going alongside. Puck comes out to the center. McDonald's going to pick it up. McDonald's came back around, retreats to his own zone. Pass to Alex McDonald. Up to Crawford. Crawford tried to get to Romard. All three McDonald's back on the ice again. As Lincoln McDonald comes up with it, he moves it over to Crawford. Back to Lincoln McDonald. Lincoln McDonald, backhand. That went wide. Hartland might have got a tiny piece of that. That puck's chipped up and out of the zone. That will go back into the Nova zone. Retreating back. McDonald over McMullen. McMullen tries to move it up. That's past everybody. No icing. As they say, an attempt was made for it. Dando's going to pick it up on his own net. He fires it across the boards. McPhee's going to pick it up. McPhee is grabbed. Yeah, that's going to be a penalty. As both of the coincidental penalties are going to go down. But Gillis is going to go into the box. 2 minutes for a hold. As he had McPhee a bear hug there for a minute. Spun him right around. So this will bring up in another the Coast Electrical and Ventilation penalty kill. Brought to you by the Coast Electrical and Ventilation. Keeping things running smoothly, just like the Novas on the penalty kill. Chevry's kicked out of the face-off circle. Simon will have to go in his place. Simon wins that forward and then actually gets the puck back himself and knocks it back to Carroll, who's able to just barely keep it in. Carroll moves it over to Lewis. Lewis shot. That was just barely padded away there by Mumbercat. Dando's going to throw it back down for Chevry. Chevry working with it. Back to Lewis. Lewis back over to Carroll. Carroll working in. His shot just a little bit high. It's going to be picked up alongside the boards. Back to Lewis. Lewis couldn't handle that pass as it was in his feet. That's going to go all the way back down to Rage Zone. That pass is from White there. Lewis with it behind his own net. 2:30 remaining in this period. Lewis working up with it. Crossing the line, leaving it for Chevry, picking it back up himself. Puck's knocked out. Carroll can't keep it in. Peoples all alone, chased by White. Peoples, shot, scores! Short-handed goal. Ryland Peoples. It's 4-0 Novas. The ref's coming out to drop the puck. There's just a breakdown at the blue line there for the Rage. Set that one up as Dando leaves it for Brabart. Brabart moves it up. Working with it. A little bit of speed is Trudel. Dumped in. McDonald throws it around from Kaiser. Kaiser just out of his reach. Brabant working on his net with it. He's coming out with it. 30 seconds remaining on this power play. Turn it around. He fires it down deep. Dando's going to go into the corner for it. Dando with the puck. Knocked off his stick by McIsaac, but Dando picks it up again. His shot patted away by Mummercat in traffic. The Stikers is just going to throw it up. Picked up by Brabant. He makes a move at his own blue line, making a couple players miss. He throws it up for Trudel just behind him. Trudel has to retreat for it. Trudel back to Brabant. Up for White. White chips it in. Sorry, McPhee chips it in. Dando giving chase, but it's turned around, fired right back out. Carroll looks like he kept it in. Linesman says no. McLaughlin battling for it. Knocked off the stick by Carroll. Picked back up by McIsaac. Carroll pick it up in his own zone. Peoples picks it up. Peoples shot. Glove save. Rebound. That just went wide. We're back to even. There's 40 seconds remaining. Peoples almost had a second shorthanded goal in the same penalty kill as Donaldson knocks down McDonnell at the blue line. That puck's knocked up. Duggan's going to catch it. He's going to work in. His shot's blocked by Carroll. Trudel moves it over to Arsenault. Out of his reach. McDonnell just shoots it. Hartland saves it. Shot. Great save. Oh, and that hit a post. McDonald shot. And that's saved by Hartland, and he holds on to it. Hartland saved it with his stick, pointing it out. And the rebound just hit a post. Since there's 8.5 seconds remaining, as Carroll and the rest of the decor go and give Hartland some props there. Puck drop, one forwards by Peoples. Peoples working in, shot, back door, save, rebound, save again. Has to shoot, running out of time, knocked off his stick, and that's how the second period ends. We've played two. It's 4-0 Novas. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after an intermission for the third and final period of this game.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross and Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Welcome back into the Anagas Arena, which celebrated its 56th birthday last week. Where the Novas lead the Rage 4-0. As this rink's starting to get pretty full here. Early on a Sunday afternoon. On a long weekend, I'm fairly positive. There's Mummercat and Heartland still in net for their respective teams. Nova's added 2 more there in the second period, doubled their lead. It's 4-0 now. You know, as special teams played most of the second period, we're going to start even strength here. Pass up Sampson. Sampson breaking into the zone. He's knocked away. Working up with it. McIsaac spins back, throws it back to the point. McDonald throws it up into White's skates. It's going to be picked up by Alex McDonald again. He's going to throw it up, but White's going to take it. White loses the puck into the Nova zone. McDonald throws it up for Sampson. Sampson can't handle it. Pierce is going to dump it in. That's going to be an icing. As Pierce was about 4 feet behind the red line before the chip. So, offensive zone draw here early on for the Novas. They look to get a couple more insurance goals here. You can never be too sure, especially in this league. Some crazy comebacks as people's battle for it in the corner. Comes out, McDonald can't handle it. Brabant knocks it up all on the boards to White. White can't pick up the puck as Duggan's there. Duggan moves it back for McMullen at the point. McMullen shot. Patted away there by Heartland. Picked up, thrown up for Chevry. He can't get to it. Gets past Price. Chevry finally finds the puck. Trudel off the boards. All the way down. Another icing. And we'll go right back into the Rage zone. Puck drop. McIsaac in deep shot. It was more of a pass as Heartland went diving. The puck didn't really make it to the net there. So there's a lot of bodies on the ground behind the net as Heartland just knocks that puck into midair. Price gets it. Price battling with Peoples. That puck goes up to Arsenault. Arsenault being forced wide by Purcell. Arsenault goes spinning into the boards as there's going to be a penalty. A cross check on Crawford. That must have been behind the play. So they'll bring up another DeCoste Electrical and Ventilation penalty kill here. Just the Rage look to get on the scoreboard here early in the third. Chevry in for the draw. It's an Austin on the other side. Chevry is kicked out. Simon going to go back in and take it in his place. Simon wins the draw. He's 2 for 2 today. Lewis has the puck at the point. Lewis over to Carroll. Carroll shot. Hit a couple people in front. Lewis's shot. That goes wide. Back to Carroll at the point. Carroll working in. Carroll fans on the shot. That puck's knocked out. Lewis has the puck. Lewis just dumps it in. Mummercat has the puck behind the net. He leaves it there. That puck's knocked all the way down past Carroll. Heartland has the puck behind his net. Lewis picking up the puck. Passes it up for White out of his reach. That's not sailed right back into the Rage zone. Carroll's going to pick that one up, moving behind his own net. Carroll Some heavy forecheck there, but Carroll's staying with it. He passes over to Lewis. Lewis working up. Rage desperately trying to get something set up here on the power play. Mumbercat stops that one behind his net, and that's going to be dumped all the way back down to the Rage zone. Hartland stops the puck there. Rage moving up. People's pressuring. Dando's going to pick up the puck on the near side. He chips it in. McDonald's going to catch it and just fire it in. The Rage seem pretty content. Oh, that's a bad pass there by Hartland. McIsaac's shot. That goes high. As I was saying, Peoples has the puck. Peoples tries to get it there to McIsaac, and it's picked up by Donaldson. The Rage seem pretty content just breaking in and dumping it out, dumping it into the zone, which then in turn just gets turned around and fired all the way down by the Novas here on the penalty kill. As Dano leaves it for Baldwin, picks it back up himself. That's kept in, but then McIsaac's going to take it out. McIsaac has Gillis. It's a 2-on-1. McIsaac to Gillis. Gillis move. Oh, he couldn't finish the backhand. And I think the net's off, so we're going to get a stoppage in play. We're back to even as the penalty ended there. Boys are ready, making a lot of noise on the Nova side. Face off, puck drop. Gillis loses the puck. McPhee, Highway AC/DC playing a little long there. McDonald shot. I think he fanned on that. It didn't look like it was blocked, but it stayed with him. McIsaac working in. He just elects to throw it back to Fraser at the point. Fraser shot. It's loose in front. Batted around. It comes back out. Nova still have it. A shot again from Fraser. Carroll blocked that. He has blocked more shots than I think is a fun time here. They have to start to hurt. As Carroll stands the blue line, the second attempt is knocked out. McIsaac working in deep. McIsaac's shot. Hartland went for the poke check there, and he got lucky that backhand went up and over his shoulders. Purcell has the puck around, crossing the center line. He works in. He gets past McPhee. Carroll knocks the puck off Purcell's stick. Purcell retreats back to the blue lane, just dumps it in deep for Lincoln McDonald. Lincoln McDonald has the puck at his feet behind the net. He turns around, just dumps it down. McPhee's going to take up the puck. Crawford takes it right back. That pass is intended for Purcell, but it was knocked off his stick by Arsenault. McDonald has the puck. McDonald working it in. Romard battled for it. Kind of got a punch to the face there, no call. Carroll with some speed trying to get the puck behind the net, bouncing around the side of the net. Be picked up by Price. Arsenault can't handle that pass. It's being chipped around. It's just fired into the zone. McMullen fires it off the boards. Brabant with it in his own zone. Brabant, he chips it up. Purcell knocks it right back in. Brabant behind the net. Working it up. Brabant shot. Pad saved by Mumbercat into the corner. It's chipped up. Romard with it. Romard working his way up. Romard still coming. He backhands. Shot. Rebound. Scores. Dykers with the second of the game. It's 5-0 Novas. Romard's backhand was saved initially there by Hartland, and the rebound bounced straight to Dykers, who's able to bury his second into an open net. Puck drop, one back. It's going to be fired around. Brabant knocks it down. McDonald picks it up. McDonald, pressure on him. McDonnell has the puck. McDonnell working his way up. He dumps it in. Brabant going for it. He dumps it over to Dando. Dando up to Simon. Simon tries to chip it up the ball. It's chipped right back into the zone. Duggan has it down deep. Simon had his stick stripped there by Duggan. Duggan trying to spin move here. That didn't work out that well as Simon chips it up and off the glass. Foot race, McDonald and White. McDonald's going to win the foot race. He's going to go for a skate. He's coming up with some speed. Breaking into the zone. Shot. Great pad save. A great rush there by McDonald as Alex McDonald gets it at the point. He moves it over to McDonald. McDonald can't handle the puck. He fires it in. That's going to be delayed offside. So the Nova's going to have to retreat. Rage have a little time to get something going. Chevry lost the puck in his feet. He tried to throw it up for Donaldson, and it was picked right off by Romard. Romard moves it up for Sampson. Sampson working in. Sampson, his shot hit a couple feet. He still has it. Working up the half boards. Pressured by Arsenault. Arsenault knocks the puck off his stick. Arsenault turns around, fires it up. Donaldson. Donaldson working up. He makes a move at the blue line. Going to have to retreat, and that's going to be blown dead offside. As that's offside by a couple feet there. 12:08 remaining in this third period. 5-0. Puck drop, one back by Lewis. Lewis throws it in. Mumbercat. Mumbercat stops the puck. Battling around Sampson. Sampson tips it up. He throws it in for Austin. Austin loses it. Trudel has the puck over to Lewis. Lewis throws it up. It hits a stick. Hits ball with stick. Goes into the Rage bench. So stoppage in play. And the ref looks like he signaled the face-off will be in the Rage zone. Nope, just outside of it. 11:49 remaining in this game. 5-0. Dyker's going to do the second of the day to extend the lead here in the third as that puck's won by the Novas. Brought in by Duggan. Lewis battling for it. There's a battle by the Rage blue line. Looks like McCausey came out with it. He's stripped by McPhee. McDonald at the blue line keeps it in. And then it's just thrown into the corner. Trudel will be there to pick it up. He gets hit hard into the boards by McIsaac. McPhee over to Lewis. Lewis had to just shovel that into safe territory. That puck's up. That's taken away by Gillis. Gillis is just going to throw that in. Hartland's going to leave it there by the side of his net. Lewis picks it up. Chips it off the boards. Out of the reach of everybody, but McDonald's going to pick it up. McDonald throws it over to McMullen. McMullen throws it on net from half. Must have watched the States-Denmark game yesterday. There's Duggan battling for it with Trudel in the corner. McIsaac comes out with it. McIsaac working around. A lot of pressure coming from Rage defenders here as he throws it back. McPhee was going to pick it up. McPhee gets hit hard by Duggan, but he stays with it. Trudel tries to pass over to Lewis. Well out of Lewis's reach. Battle for it. Gillis has the puck. Gillis in the corner, pinned up against the boards by Lewis. McPhee's just going to throw it behind the net, but McMullen's going to be there. McMullen throws it back for Duggan. Duggan works in, shot, waffle-boarded away. Battle for it again as the Novas just seem to be coming in waves now as that's soft at the point. Shot on, caught and held on to by Hartland. For a stoppage of play, 10:17 remaining in the game. We're just about halfway through the third period here. Fast-paced game. It's what you like to watch. Fun hockey. Both teams have chances, but the Novas trying to run away with this one a little bit as it's 5-0 as Brabant throws it around the boards. Arsenal going to pick it up. He loses it. Romard tries to get to Fraser. There's a huge collision there at the blue line. That puck gets hit by, it looked like the stick maybe of Hartland, that no one knew where it was. It went up and over the glass, I believe, as no one really, yeah, it did, as someone picked up the puck. As the refs, the players, everyone's confused at where that puck ended up. Puck drop, one forwards by Romard. Romard picks up the puck. It's knocked off his stick. Crawford trying to pinch, keep it in. Price has it. Price throws it off of Arsenault's feet out of the zone. McDonald's going to pick it up, though. Tries to get it out. Carroll battling for it. Couple whacks at it there. That's just eventually dumped right back in by McDonald. Under 10 minutes to go in this period. We're halfway through this third. Blake and McDonald picking it up deep in the rage zone. Carroll's going to pick up the puck instead, though. Carroll fans on the pass. Blake and McDonald picks it up. He throws it back to the point. Fraser shot. Pad saved by Hartland. McDonald picks it up again. He throws it back. Brabant's there. He gets it out of the zone. He's taken down. Out of the reach of Baldwin. As a couple bodies hit the ground, there's going to be a penalty against Arsenault upcoming. Mumbercat going to the bench for the extra attacker. Arsenault touches it up. And 9:04 remaining in this third period. Arsenault is going to go for a trip. Bringing up the Winmar power play. Nova's already striking on the Winmar power play this game. Looking to do it again here. Halfway through the third. Puck drop, one back by the Rage. Dando trying to get it out, hit a couple bodies. Austin's going to pick it up. Austin and Dando tangled up. Both of them lost their sticks. Sampson picks up the puck. He spins a couple times. Sampson just throws it back to Alex McDonald at the point. Alex over to Fraser. Fraser shot through traffic. Caught and saved there by Hartland. Getting a stoppage in play. Puck's going to be to the right of him. McPhee steps in as Peoples wins that draw. That's worked down to Sampson down low. He spins back around, throws it back to McDonald. Back to Sampson. Puck knocked off his stick by Dando. Peoples tries to throw it back to the point. It's poked around. McPhee does get it out and then loses his stick. Boys might have to start super gluing their stick to their gloves here. A lot of flying sticks around as Sampson's going to pick up speed, and boy can he fly. Asher Sampson spins back around, didn't like that look. Back to McDonald at the point. McDonald back to Sampson. Puck was kind of in his feet, but he recovers. Back to McDonald at the point. We're halfway through this power play. Sampson working in, spins back around, and throws it back to McDonald. McDonald shot. That got through all the traffic, but it's patted away. Simon tries to get it out off the boards. It's kept in by Fraser. Fraser, his pass to Sampson's out of the zone, so Sampson's going to have to pick it up, skate back, as he's just kind of taunting with Chevry there in his own zones. Sampson's going to leave it for McMullen. McMullen behind the net. He's waiting for something to develop. 30 seconds left on this power play. He's going to move up. McMullen also real good skater. He passes it over to Romard. Romard working through. Romard kicks it up to himself. Forced wide by Carroll. Romard back to Purcell at the point. Purcell. He's hit hard by Carroll. And they're going to call a penalty on that. As all the Rage are pleading the case there. That was a heavy hit. They're going to call head contact there. And that might just be the case that Carroll was that much bigger than Purcell. But it's going to be a 5-on-3. For 12 seconds. That puck's dropped. One back. Purcell can't keep it in at the point. McMullen's going to pick up the puck down deep in his own zone. So Arsenault's back on the ice, so the very short 5-on-3's killed. So it's now only a 5-on-4. McMullen works in. He slows down. Working back. Back to the point. Purcell. Back over. Romard working down. White on him. Romard shot. That doesn't get past Lewis, so that's deflection. Backhand shot handled well by Hartland. Lewis. Puck's knocked off his stick. Romard has it. Romard's going to throw it back to the captain, McMullen, at the point. McMullen back to Romard. Back over to Purcell. Purcell working in. Spins back around. Arsenault on him. McMullen has the puck at the point. Works it down low. Romard Crawford shot. Tipped in front. And that just went wide. Romard has the puck again. Throws it back to McMullen. McMullen once again over to Romard. Throws it wide to Purcell. Purcell shot. Hits the side of the net. We're a minute into Carroll's penalty here. In front, Dykers. Dykers loses the puck, but it gets back to Romard. Romard spins around. Lewis in the corner. Lewis hits him. But the puck goes back to McMullen. McMullen works it down low. Romard once again. Romard shot. High and wide, but Purcell going to keep it in at the point. Purcell trying to throw it down. Arsenal got the first one. Second attempt gets to Dykers. Dykers working in. Hat-trick watch, maybe. Shot. Scores. He moved it over to Romard. Romard chipped it up and over Heartland's shoulder. So that's a power play goal for the Novas. It's 6-0. .541 remaining here in the third period. Puck drop, one back by the Novas. McDonald picks it up. McDonald moves it over to McDonald. Easiest D pairing to call right now as that puck's moved into the zone. Peoples shot. That just went wide. McDonald's over to McDonald. Throws in front. That's just wide. Peoples going to pick it up. Passed over to Peoples. Out of his reach. Brabant's going to pick it up. He's trying to chip it up. Donaldson has it. Donaldson throws it over. Back down low, Brabant. He's hit. Moves the puck over, but McDonald's going to steal it. Peoples has it. Peoples trying to work through everything. Dano moves it over. It's coming up. It's over to Price. Price working in. Price just chips it in. We're under 5 minutes remaining in this game. McDonald has it. McDonald back to McDonald. Back to McDonald. Reen McDonald moves it out of the zone. But it gets held at the blue line, sorry. Peoples has it. Peoples skinning around. He's coming out with some speed. Kept in by Donaldson. Donaldson over to McPhee. McPhee working in. Puck's knocked off his stick by Alex McDonald there on the side of the net. Moves over. It'll be chipped up. McDonald with some speed. Big hit. And he goes down. And he's able to get back up. But that was a thunderous hit there. As Brabant has the puck, Brabant's working with it. Moving over to McLaughlin. McLaughlin. He's hit. McPhee has it. McPhee's held up against the boards. Shift up and out. Gillis with it. Gillis coming in, driving towards the net. His backhander hits a stick and goes wide. We're under 4 minutes to go. Carroll with the puck. Carroll moves it up. Big collision there at the blue line. And that's going to be blown offside. Baldwin going to win that draw back to Carroll. Carroll skating with it, moves it over to Trudel. Trudel chips it off the wall. McPhee gets the legs taken right out from underneath of him, and he's down. And that looks like it might be a penalty. It will be. It'll be Austin going to the box. So they'll bring up another DeCosta Electrical and Ventilation penalty kill. Keeping things running smoothly like the Novas on the penalty kill. Is this going to be a tripping call against Austin? 3:30 remaining in this game. 6-0. Puck's dropped. And that's one back by the Rage, but in between Lewis and Carroll, so that's going to go all the way back down. Lewis picks it up in his own zone. It's going to be a 4-minute penalty. I think it might be a... So it's a kneeing penalty here, not a tripping penalty. Dando has it down low. So the odds are Austin will be in the box for the rest of the game as that puck's fired all the way down to Heartland. Heartland's going to keep it there. He leaves it for Carroll. We're under 3 minutes to go in the game. Carroll with some speed. He's working up, cuts towards the middle. Carroll into the zone. Carroll try to stop. He doesn't have anyone with him. He's fighting for the puck. He moves it over to Chevron. Back to Carroll. Carroll moves it down low. White with it alongside the half boards. He tries to get it down low. That puck's knocked around. Simon pressuring the puck. Carroll keeps it in. Carroll keeps it in again. Simon with the puck now. He loses the puck. Peoples working out. Just chips down low. 2:15 remaining. Heartland plays upon the net for Lewis, who leaves it for Carroll. Carroll with some speed. Makes a couple cuts. Carroll working in. Shot. Fanned on it. He stays with it though. Makes a man miss. Passes it behind the net. Puck's cleared all the way out. Heartland's going to play it. We're under 2 minutes remaining. Heartland leaves it up for Lewis. Lewis going to retreat behind his own net. Wait for something to develop. Lewis. Pressured by Duggan. Lewis back behind his net. Minute 36 remaining. Up for Dando. Dando's going to work in. He tried to move it for Donaldson out of his reach. Back to Trudel. Trudel can only slap it to the other side. Brabant wasn't in the zone. That comes out, so Brabant just chips it in. Nova's going to dump it all the way down for Heartland. Heartland's going to leave it there, but Duggan's going to be the first to get there. Duggan moves it across. Sampson. Asher Sampson just going to chip it out of the zone. He stays with it. And then he's going to move it back to McMullen. McMullen's going to fire it down. 1 minute remaining in the game. Couple of nifty stick handles there as the Rays are moving up through neutral zone. Brabant just fires it down low. Donaldson's going to pick it up in the far corner. Donaldson held up against the wall by Frazier. Couple Novas, couple Rage in there for it. Gets back to Brabant at the corner. Sorry, the point. He throws it over for Trudel. Trudel throws it down low. Picked up by McMullen. McMullen's pinned up against the boards. Comes out. Dando tried the Michigan. He never had the puck on the stick there. That puck bouncing around. It's thrown down. 20 seconds remaining. Picked up by Brabant. Working down. Throws it over to Trudel. Trudel fans on that pass. That's just going to be dumped right back in. Heartland's going to have it. 5 seconds. And the Novas, another 4-point weekend as there's a slap shot all the way down. Mummercat handles that anyway. Another 4-point weekend for the Novas. They defend the Antigas Arena twice again as they keep their undefeated in regulation streak here at Antigonish intact. As another handshake line ensues. On behalf of all of High Button Sports, I'd like to thank you for choosing to spend your Sunday morning, a little bit of Sunday afternoon with me. Hopefully you'll join us again soon.